I mean, the car weighs 3,000 pounds now with all the paint on it, but it looks awesome. No, it's a great running beast. They qualified third so far. They've run 5.707. Tim Boychuk is running the 580. So we're going to find out if the team, and the racer, I should say, from Edmonton, Alberta, can hang with Hollywood Grable here. Wales in the Pacific Northwest himself in Covington, Washington. Cal and Air, the sponsor on the quarter panels for Grable. And really, any car that carries any semblance of the Bartone name on it, you know it's going to have quality equipment and people involved.
Oh boy, yeah.
So starting line gets a little touch. Both cars are in position. Tim Boychuk's the guy who's driven a whole manner of different cars over the course of years. He drove for Big Jim Dunn several years back. He has made a lot of laps in a lot of different styles of funny cars. So Grable's are going to be first to fire, and here comes Boychuk on the line over there in the front line. Personal preference, I love these cars square and through the forms of the NHRA. I think they're just excellent down the middle, a little bit more accurate than the bigger than the other. Boychuk goes a 588.7 at 235 miles an hour, but in terms of a side-by-side pull, that's the closest one we've had all morning.
That was a great side-by-side race, and they both cars ran similar to their qualifying times.
So the safety trucks rolled out there. I think Grable pulled, or rather Boychuk, I believe, pulled over almost immediately upon slowing down. Not sure if the car might have backfired or there was a fair amount of smoke to look through down there, but safety crew and safety safari have rolled around the corner. Doesn't appear to be any sort of major smoke or anything we're seeing from our point, so it's a good notice that doesn't appear to be anything super serious. As the Illinois Thunder 1978 Plymouth Arrow will roll up. I believe this is going to be the battle of our 4 and 5 qualifiers, which on paper is the tightest matchup you can have in any car style ladder. So these two cars ran within 300th of a second of each other. Derek Barrera from Hawaii, the Nitro Junkies Camaro, and the Illinois Thunder 78 Plymouth Arrow. Levi over there on the left-hand side. Those Plymouth Arrows are cool bodies. There's a lot of them out there. Of course, Snake had an Arrow. Monza, of course, he had an Arrow for a while.
Yeah, no, that Arrow body, it seemed like, and especially when Snake ran good, and everybody's, jump on the bandwagon. You know that body style will work, and gosh, there was a lot of guys. I put a few models together there with
nice.
Plymouth Arrow.
One of the weirdest funny car bodies of that era, and this would have come in, I believe it was around 81 or 82, the Chevy Citation. Remember those things? They had a weird, like, real boxy front end on it. John Force had one when he was sponsored by, I think it was Mountain Dew at that time. But I remember going through his Yorba Linda shop one time, and it's enough to, like, make you stop for a second, and you just kind of have to look at it, because it's like, how did this happen? But yeah, the Chevy Citation.
John Force drove Citation.
Yeah, exactly. The X11 model. But yeah, it's, to me, the late 70s bodies to me are really cool, especially like you get into mongooses. The Corvettes of that like 78, 79 here. Such good looking cars.
Well, and one thing I'll say about that era, that was before carbon fiber came along. So it's like, you know, doing a fiberglass lug of a car was a lot easier. So you saw Datsun 240s.
Oh yeah.
Or Chevy Corvettes.
Yep.
So, I mean, there was a number of different Buicks were involved. I mean, there was a lot of different manufacturers. And it's just make a plug. Let's make a funny car, buy out of it, and send it.
The very infamous Broadway Freddy name from the East Coast had a Buick Skyhawk, which was kind of just a Monzo, a little bit different front end on it. Many of you in the stands may know who this guy was, but Broadway Freddy had a very special employer, which was the Mafia, and he had a very special job with the Mafia, which was to make people not be alive anymore. And he did it a lot to a lot of different people, but he also raced Nitro funny cars, and he had a series of them. And the very first Nitro funny car he ever had was a car that he stole from Don Schumacher. Don Schumacher was on tour of the East Coast, and Freddy also was a really good guy at stealing cars. That was one of his other functions with his employer, and so he stole the entire truck and trailer. And Don Schumacher's dad was also in a specialized organization in the Chicagoland area, so he was able to make some phone calls and they figured out who had the car. This is a true story. Don would tell it when he was around. And so Don goes to Broadway's shop, and the door opens up, and Broadway Freddy has a Thompson submachine gun in his hand and asks Don if he needs anything. And Don told him to enjoy the funny car.
Here's some spare pieces for it.
Yeah. And if you can find photos up for those guys that like to dig around the internet, type in Broadway Freddy Dename Duster. It was a Duster body funny car. And Dename basically ran a paint roller down the side to cover up Don's name and took it racing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wild thing. And he had a...
And you got a problem with that?
Exactly. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. But the stories of the East Coast guys can tell about Broadway Freddy. And Harlan Thompson raced with him for a while, and Harlan ended up going over having a lot of success in Europe. But crazy days, man. Crazy days.
Need a sponsor? No, we're good.
We're good here.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. What hotel are you staying at? Okay, we got it.
Yeah, Broadway. The legend of Broadway Freddy Dename, who had a moment where he had a change of conscience and went and spilled his guts to the government, and then they found him very shortly thereafter in a tough situation.
Wasn't in the pest control business.
He was right. miles an hour. A very, very nice job. The identical last time they qualified with. How about that?
Right on his style.
Right on his dial. And for Derek Barrera, the car jumped up on the tire, began to